Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, the show where we talk about the art of intentional living. If you're new here, I want to say welcome to the show. And if you've been here before, I want to say welcome back. I'm excited about the show today. I'm always excited about the show, right, Kelly? I'm always excited about the show. This is our talk show where we come here every single week at 11:03 a.m. Pacific time. Yes, 11:03. It's a wackadoodle time, but that is the time that we go live. And we're here for 56 minutes giving you amazing content. And today, our topic is stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to be perfect. And my guest today is Rachel Carew, and she is the CEO of Stepping Into More, which is a professional and personal development company. And she's got a story to talk about her reinvention and how she got to be doing what she's doing right now. So we're going to talk about perfectionism. We're going to talk about resilience. We're going to give you some key takeaways, actionable steps that you can implement in your life today to improve your life, live more passion-filled, purposeful, more intentional, more empowered, more inspired. That's what we are all about here. So excited to be here. So, all right. So where can you catch us? Oh, hey, Anthony, nice to see you. Nice to see you. So happy that you're here. So where are we? We're live every week on Mondays at 11:03 a.m. on E360 TV. If you're not familiar with it, check it out. Download the app or go to the website and check it out. We are on the Fresh Takes channel there. And then we're also live at the same time on my YouTube channel, which is I Have Today with Diane Forster, and on my Facebook page, I Have Today with Diane Forster. Now, where I can see your comments and get your questions is on Facebook Live. So if you want to say hello, say your name. Anthony's here. I see him already. Who you are and where you're from. Where are you viewing us from? Would love to see that. And then we also do a special segment every single week called the Mentor Me Minute segment. And that's where I take your questions live here and coach you for one whole minute. Little secret. I usually go over a minute, but I mentor you. In whatever it is, as someone who does, transformational work and mindset work and about, transformation, living to your highest, greatest, fullest potential, getting out of your own way, getting rid of those limiting beliefs, and really allowing you to step into your power because you are the one in the power. That I'm here to do that for you. And it doesn't matter if it's health, if it's relationships, if it's, in your business, family, money mindset, whatever it is, you can ask me anything. And we do that in the Mentor Me Minute segment. Kelly's got the banner up there. So where you can write in that, in case you're catching the replay of this and you didn't get to see it live, is you can send in your questions at dianeforster.com/mentor me. And if I choose your question and you get mentored by me, you're going to get a free I Have Today mug. By the way, this is one of our new mugs. We did an event not that long ago called the Have It All Life live virtual event. And actually, we're getting ready to plan another one. So stay tuned for details on that. I heard from a lot of people who missed the last event and really want to attend the next event. So make sure that you are staying tuned in for details. And then you can also find out more information on that if you email me at info@DianeForster. And we'll make sure that you get on our list and that you can be up to date and up to speed with everything that we're doing here. But anyway, back to the mug. What we did is we gave away these incredible swag boxes to all the attendees prior to them coming to the event. And one of the items was this mug that says, I have today to love my life. So when you ask me questions, you're going to get a mug. So, all right. So let me share with you. I told you the theme of the show is stop trying to be perfect. Okay. And we do intention statements every week. And an intention statement is just a powerful affirmation. It's a statement that allows you to really be intentional with your words and with your thoughts and with your actions. And if you're new to my channel or new to me, I'm really big on language. I'm really big on words and vocabulary, and removing certain words out of our vocabulary and replacing them with more empowering ones. We get in our own way. We get stuck all the time because of the way that we're communicating. So the intention statement allows you to take what our theme is of the week and let it really sink in and anchor with you. So what we do is, well, first, let me tell you what it is. It is, I have today to end the pursuit of perfection. I have today to end the pursuit of perfection because it doesn't exist anyway. So Rachel and I are going to talk about that. But you can find those. Kelly, my girl Kelly, makes the most beautiful wallpaper. And they're on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. At Diane Forster Official. If you go to my page, there's a tab there that says wallpaper. So you just click on that and here comes a wallpaper. She makes them every week. They're gorgeous. So what you want to do is you want to use this as your screensaver, because then every time you look at your phone, like today's, you're going to see, I have today to end the pursuit of perfection. It reminds you, and you look at your phone, statistics say 150 times a day. So if you're doing this, or when you're doing this every single week, that's really going to start resonating with you. And when you do things and with repetition, that's when things really get anchored. And it's through the repetition of doing these subtle little things that change starts to really happen for you. So our intention statement this week, go find it at Diane Forster Official under wallpaper is there. And again, it's I have today to end the pursuit of perfection. All right. So let me tell you what you can expect for this show. So I'm going to bring on Rachel in just a minute. I'm going to read you a little bit of her bio, and she's going to share her story, what she's doing, how she's showing up in the world, and how she's helping people. She's got a phenomenal gift for you. So make sure you stay for the entire interview because we're going to talk about that at the end. It's an amazing assessment. And then we do the Mentor Me Minute segment. So think about your questions right now and just put them in the comments section on Facebook and we will be able to see them live. And then I always end each show with a powerful mantra meditation. And the mantra meditation allows you or us together to really take everything that we've talked about in this episode, the topic, the ahas, the lessons, and really have it anchor into you on a spiritual, on a mental, on an emotional, on a physical, on a cellular level. The words are really, really powerful. And again, they're really, really intentional. So it's a great way for you to end the show and then go off to the rest of your day and whatever it is that you're up to. And so it allows that to really anchor in. And so we save that for the end so that you leave this show feeling better at the end of it than you did when the show started. All right. So be sure to stay to the end because I also have an amazing gift for you that I'm going to offer to you at the end of the show. All right, so let me bring on my guest, Rachel Carew. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait, we're having a little technical difficulty. It happens. All right, so let me just tell you what's going on. If you like this show and you have this topic resonates with you, then there might be some other previous episodes that we've done that maybe you haven't seen yet that you will resonate with you as well. So one of them is called 3 Keys to Work-Life Balance. I know how important this is. Work-life balance is very, very important. And especially, in this day and age with everything that's going on, it's been harder and harder to put that defining line in between work-life balance. The lines are blurred. More people are working from home now and indefinitely, now and forever. Things are definitely shifting. And so that's really important. And that was a show we had on Connie Benjamin. And she talked about that. She and her husband, Andy, have this business where they really help couples who are working together figure out the work-life balance. And she also has a brand called Women on Fire. So you might want to catch that episode. Another episode we did was called Manifest More Confidence and Success. We did back-to-back episodes on confidence because that's how important confidence is. So if you haven't checked out that episode, it was really powerful. And then the last one is Stop Overwhelm. So many people are so busy doing so many things, and they're operating in overwhelm and overdrive, and the effects it's having on your body, on your cells, the stress levels, it tends to manifest into other things. And so we need to stop the overwhelm. So those are 3 episodes that you might like to catch if you haven't caught them yet already. All right. Okay. So let's bring on my guest, Rachel Carew.
Hi.
Hi, Rachel. So nice to see you.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. So, Rachel, let me tell the audience a little bit about you. All right. So Rachel's personal journey as a recovering perfectionist inspired her to create Stepping Into More, a professional and personal development company dedicated to supporting clients to identify their GPS, which I know we're going to talk about. Stands for natural gifts, passions, and where they like to be in service, in order to unearth and honor their true north. So beautiful. Activities where the 3 components intersect. Rachel is the author of Stepping Into More, Lessons from a Recovering Perfectionist, and she's the producer of the CD of songs, Stepping Into More. Can't wait to talk about that. She's proud and delighted to be married for 31 years and to be called mom by her top 2 teachers in life, her children. Hey, Rachel.
Hello.
That's awesome. So, all right. Let's talk about this. All right. You had a background. I read the rest of your bio. So you are doing something completely different now. So share your journey with us, please.
Absolutely. One of my first passions has always been creatively self-expressing, primarily through song. And at the tender age of 18, I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And I didn't get accepted into their second-year program. And at the time, I didn't realize that I was a perfectionist. And I thought, wow, I must really suck at this. So I turned my back on performing, and I took the more frequently traveled path of getting my bachelor's in business and working in human resources. And I stopped performing for over 20 years. And anytime I tried to perform, my arms would literally be glued at my side because I was so fearful of not being perfect. And that all changed probably close to 20 years ago now, which is hard to believe. I was on my way to facilitate a work-life balance workshop. You were talking about work-life balance a moment ago, and
Yes.
My life was not feeling very balanced in that moment. I was running late, and I unfortunately got into a car accident. Thankfully, it wasn't serious, but while in physical therapy, I saw a flyer for a workshop called Joy of Singing. And that workshop really changed my life. And not only did I start singing again, but that created more empowerment and more integration for me as a human being, both professionally and personally, and ultimately led to me writing an autobiographical self-help book, Stepping Into More, Lessons from a Recovering Perfectionist, as well as producing the CD you mentioned of songs, Stepping Into More.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. So this is how things happen in life, people. We have these peak emotional experiences, these divine the universe's divine way of stepping in. Thank goodness your car accident wasn't severe, but we get knocked down. First it's a whisper, then it's a shout, then it's a scream, then it's like a crash, by the time we listen to it. And so good for you for, having that experience and paying attention to all the signs that were showing up saying, come this way, come this way, come this way. That's so great. So where do you think your perfectionism came from?
As with anything, it's a combination of nature and nurture. Definitely part of it was high expectations in my upbringing. I think also just in my hardwiring, there tends to be that kind of tendency as well. So it's a combination.
Yeah. Yeah, I had it too. I say had, because for a couple of reasons, because I really don't think I am anymore. But even if I am a little bit, I want to tell the universe that it's past tense.
It's a lifelong journey. So
Yeah.
It really is. Because as you start to really unpeel perfectionism, you start to realize how much those old beliefs and tapes really can influence every aspect of our lives.
Yes. Yes. So, all right. So I want to talk about, I put some pointers down in my head that I wanted to say, have this conversation about with the viewers about it, because perfectionism doesn't even exist anyway, right? It's just, everything is evolving. We are evolving. We are different people today than we were yesterday. We're different people this moment than we were an hour ago, right? So everything is always evolving and it's always moving and it's always changing anyway. And I know that for us, it's important that whatever it is you're doing, you're already perfect anyway. And that's just where you are in that moment. So then, as you grow, as you expand, as you step out into that, stretch yourself, you're more. You're just more. You're, more enlightened, more educated, more experienced, more polished, whatever that is. So it's like cleaning the whole house, getting all the laundry done and everything's away. And then the kids come home and, that's kind of like life, right? So it just doesn't even exist. How do you feel about that?
I completely agree. And I also have found over the years that some people will view perfectionism initially as a strength. And even I used to do that when I would go for a job interview and they'd ask, oh, what's your one weakness? I would intentionally share that I was a perfectionist because in their mind, oh, this is great. She's going to really, work hard. She's going to go above and beyond. So I think there's sort of this misconception around perfectionism because truly perfectionism is a shield. And
Yep.
it's a shield that says, hey, if I can act perfect, then I can hide behind any fears, insecurity, shame that I'm experiencing by putting up this wall.
That's well said. It really is, because people don't want to appear vulnerable. People don't want to appear weak. They really, everybody wants to be acknowledged. Everybody wants to be seen for their, the greatest expression of themselves, as Oprah says, right? That's what everyone is really seeking. So that is a really valid point, that's what's happening. And what happens is that causes, so much emotional unrest in so many ways. It's stress. And it leads to other things like procrastination, putting things off and, in your life, in your background where that was showing up, it led to that car accident because, something was out of alignment. Yeah. All right, I want to pivot the conversation now, how this perfectionism and what you're doing now, or that you're no longer, you're a recovering perfectionist, how it ties into and it leads to resilience.
Mm.
This is a great conversation, because how are those two things tied together?
Yeah, and it just to piggyback on that vulnerability word, because you said you're a stickler for language, and that really is the word, because so many of us have this misconception that vulnerability is a weakness, where truly a vulnerability is a strength. Of course, you need to use judgment, but what I've found in my journey and also with my coaching clients is that when we're willing to show what I like to call the good, the bad, and the not so pretty, it actually invites people in because they can relate to it, because I'm being authentic and I'm not putting up that persona and that wall. So that gives people permission also to be authentic with you in return. So I really love that you brought up vulnerability. And to answer your question, my continual willingness to be vulnerable and to be mindful and to live life very differently than I did the first 20 years of my life has led to a lot of work I've been doing with resilience. And resilience, that idea of not only bouncing back, but I love the idea of bouncing forward, because there's learning in everything, right? So what do we take, like you were saying earlier, from our challenges? How do we learn and actually come out ahead of the game? And during the last recession years back, I created this self-resilience indicator to support people with change and ongoing change. I facilitate a lot of workshops with leaders around how to support others moving through change. And inevitably, someone will say, but wait, how do I support others when I'm struggling myself? And that's what led to creating the self-resilience indicator. So that's based on 8 facets of resilience. And I utilize that in coaching. I also facilitate one-on-one debriefs, group coaching series. So doing quite a bit of work with this important topic, because as you know, one of the few constants we have in life are death, taxes, and constant change.
Yes. Yes. I love that you said we learn from our challenges. This is so true. This so ties into perfectionism, right? This is the link, that we think life is supposed to be perfect, or we're under the hallucination that life is supposed to be perfect, that it's supposed to be, all right, well, you grow up, you go to school, you go to college, you get married, you have children, you buy your home, you work in a career, and it's, this picture of what it's supposed to be like. And you and I both know, and hopefully the viewers are grasping this, that is not at all the scenario that comes out, that we have our greatest moments of growth in the things that are disruptive to us. I don't like the word failures, but or mistakes. So those are 2 words I don't like to use, but for lack of better terms, like it's in the tumbling and stumbling and tumbling and falling. And in those mistakes and those failures, in those lessons along the way, that you build the resilience. And you look back at those times in your life and you realize, wow, I survived that. Not only did I survive that, I'm thriving because of that, because I'm so much stronger than I was before. I had no idea I had this capacity in me, because we don't know until we're faced with those things. And it's almost as if that, at least I experienced this in my life, in my journey, that things were ho-hum. There wasn't quite enough wrong, not right, compared to what was going right. And so I just stayed in the discomfort for way, way, way too long until it almost took me out in a suicide attempt, right?
Mm.
And since my reinvention, since risking everything, I can't tell you how many times my resilience has been muscle has had to flex and grow so much. And it's and I wouldn't change it. I really wouldn't change it for the world, because I am such a different person today because of all of those experiences. So I love that you do this assessment for people so that people can see the value in resilience, where it's showing up in their lives and where it isn't, and then can and equate that to, well, what's going right in my life, or what do I consider going right in my life versus where do I want to improve or expand or enhance my life. That's fantastic. So I know, I love it. So what's talk a little bit about stepping into more in terms of your company and what you do. I want you to talk a little bit about the book, a little bit about the CD.
Absolutely. So I really appreciate what you were sharing around thriving. And also, we lack the ability to, I think, really value the good unless we've experienced the challenges, right?
Yes.
So a lot of my work, I hold a great passion around inspiring reflection and results. I think oftentimes in our quest to be in service to others and dealing with the crisis of the day, that we sometimes disconnect from foundational pieces of ourselves, which, as you were mentioning before, I like to call our true north. And that is figuring out, where are our gifts? Where are our passions, and where do we love to be in service? The acronym is GPS. So when we can find where those gifts, passions, and service align, that is our true north. So I very much enjoy supporting clients in creating that safe space for them to quiet down and to tap into their own wisdom, and then to help them be more mindful with their choices so that they can thrive both professionally and personally. And being a recovering perfectionist, as a coach, it's really easy for me to move people into action. In addition, though, I'm very intentional about having people hone in on who are they being in the process, because I could check a million things off my list, but if I'm miserable, who cares?
Right.
So that's a lot of the work that I do in my coaching and my facilitation and my speaking, is really use the word empower. That's a big word for me as well. I love empowering people to reconnect to all of who they are so that they can thrive.
Yes. It's beautiful. So many people are chasing things that aren't, where did they get that from, that they're chasing? And I believe this about us as spiritual beings having a human experience, that it's really in our nature to help people, to serve people. We do have that. Hopefully everybody has it. I do believe that in some way. And some people obviously get misguided along the way. And that what happens is they get so mission driven and can go astray, right? So I love your GPS. I love the gifts, what brings you passion, and where you like to be in service. Because I'll be honest with you, I sometimes feel like, and I do this show, we've done well over 100 episodes of this show. We do the podcast, we write a blog, we do a lot of things here at I Have Today that are 100% in service. That's what this is about. And I still get that feeling like, oh God, it's not enough. It's not enough, right? I could be doing more, maybe, and then I knock that off. But I know that that is also a part of our nature as creators, to always be wanting to be doing more. Like, this is an infinite universe. And so we have this infinite potential in us. And that's where I think the perfectionism comes in too. So that's where people struggle with it, because like I said earlier, you are not the same person today that you were yesterday. You are more. You are more. So you always, there's that piece that wants you to be doing more and creating more and giving more and, just showing up more. And so I love that you are pulling them back into what really matters most to you.
Yes, and just to expand on what you were sharing as well, when you start really doing this type of work, I found for myself as well as with my clients, it really forces us to redefine what success looks like.
Yes.
When I was in full perfectionist mode, success to me was all about achievement and look to the outside world. Look how I'm doing. Look how successful I am. Whereas now, success is really it's more of an internal experience. It's, how do I feel? Am I in integrity with myself? Am I doing the things I love to doing and being with the people I want to be with? Yes. And so it just really forces us to re-examine perhaps our past conditioning, and to realize, like you said, we are way more than our achievements. We are these wonderful beings. And how do we learn to accept and love ourselves for all of who we are, not just based on our achievements?
That's what we're all about here too. Self-love, unconditional self-love, just as you are. Again, you're already perfect. You really are. Okay. All right. So I want to ask you a question that I ask all of my guests, which is, I want to know how, you live the I have today way. So would you mind sharing that with us, and do it as an intention statement first, and then you can elaborate it on if you want. All right.
Okay. Let's see. I have today to compassionately accept and love myself and others.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that you put you first. Love yourself first and others. Yeah.
I can't give it to others unless I'm giving it to myself. So
so true. It's so true. Yeah, when you and I met, the reason why I wanted to have Rachel on the show is because we connected, I want to say via LinkedIn is how we met each other. We just, of course, there are no accidents in the universe. And our first conversation was so much fun because we just kept comparing notes. Well, where are you from? Where are you from? Oh, where do you live? Oh, I did that too. Oh, I did that too. And we had so many similarities that we were just destined to meet. And I love your work and the mission that you're on and everything that you're doing. So are there any final thoughts or words that you would like to share before we talk about your gift, your assessment?
Yeah, I just really encourage your viewers to keep exploring, keep honoring themselves so that they can really continue to step into more and thrive.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's well said. All right. So how can people find out more information about you and get access to the resilience assessment?
Yeah, so the resilience assessment, as well as a lot of other information about me, can be found at steppingintomore.com, steppingintomore.com, and you'll see for the resilience assessment specifically under shop, there is an offer either to take the assessment on your own or to schedule a one-on-one debrief with me after you've taken the assessment. And then I also have, as you mentioned, my book, Stepping Into More, the CD, where am I? There we go, Stepping Into More, which can also be found on Amazon.com. And then, of course, all the usual places, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. pretty much anywhere. Just look up my name, Rachel Carew, Karu.
Rachel Carew. And stepping into more. I love that name. I love that
Thank
brand.
you.
I really do. It's like I have today, your 3 words, stepping into more. So powerful. It says it all. So, Rachel, thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And, her takeaways were, we learned from our challenges. That was so huge. And how perfectionism links to, resilience and being able to, really bridge that gap. And your GPS, which stands for natural gifts, passions, and where you like to be in service. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, Rachel. And we will see you soon. Okay.
My absolute pleasure. Stay well.
Right. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye. Isn't she awesome? What a great topic that we are talking about today. I deal with this too, obviously in my own life, but with my coaching clients as well, issues of perfectionism and challenges around resilience and people chasing things that really don't really provide them with what it is they're truly passionate about or what their natural gifts are. They're chasing something that's outside of them. So she's an incredible woman. So take her up on her assessment and check it out. So before I get into the Mentor Me Minute segment, which we are about to do, I would like to have a word from our sponsor, the Spifter. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. Thank you from the Spifter. You can get yours at Amazon.com. All right, let's move into the Mentor Me Minute segment. Okay, this is the Mentor Me Minute segment. And each week on the show, what we do is we take your questions and I answer them and coach you and mentor you. So you can literally ask me anything, whatever's going on in your life, whether it's related to your business or your family, your health, your relationships, your love life, your financial situation, whatever is going on with you. I'm here to answer those questions. And at the end of the segment, we'll tell you how you can write us in. But if you're here live on Facebook, feel free to put a question in the chat and we will do our best to get to it. All right, let's take our first question. This is from Andrea in Missouri. I have so many things I'm trying to do in my business. I do branding work. I'm coaching. I want to write a book, create an online course. I want to do all of them. How do I manage it all? All right, Andrea, I'm going to guess that you might be having a little bit of perfectionism too. I'm just wondering if that's what it is. You feel like you want to get everything done right away. So I'm here to tell you, you can absolutely do all of those things, and how I can support you right now is to ask you a couple of clarifying questions. Maybe what you need to do first is ask yourself, which of these things brings me the most joy? As Rachel was just talking about her GPS, right? The gifts, the passions, and where you want to be in service. Which of these things bring me the most joy? And rank them in order, okay? It depends. Well, you do branding, so I know that this is an important topic for you because you understand the value of branding. So, Put them in order of priority and then really take a look at your brand and what is the core message that you are trying to achieve, and then why. You got to ask the whys. Why are you doing this? Why do you coach? Why do you want to write a book? What is the ultimate goal and purpose and the desired outcome with that book? Why do you want to create the online course? And I know the answers to these, I'm assuming I know what they are, but you've got to really get crystal clear on the clarity as to why, because all of those things do tie together. And once you get really clear on them, which ones mean the most to you, in the order of priority, and then why and what all that is, then you'll be able to really identify that peak and that pyramid of how to tie it all together and bring it all together. And then it's a matter of being really deliberate, putting due dates and by when dates on the calendar of when you want to get that done, because unless and until you give them a deadline and give yourself a goal, they stay lost in the land of ambiguity. I say that a lot. There's a lot of things in the land of ambiguity out there. So once you do that and break it down, I teach my clients a process called M+I=O, and that's movement towards your intention will deliver you your outcome. So once you identify what that outcome is, I also did a show called How to Be Outcome Centric. Please check out that episode because I talk a lot about this. Once you figure that out, then you can do the reverse engineering. So that you figure out the outcome first, then you figure out what the intention is to achieve that outcome. And then you have to figure out the movement, which is your action, to get that for you, because all of those things can happen very, very quickly, and they should be happening in a synergistic way if you're really crystal clear on who you are and your messaging and your branding and how you are serving in the world. So you can totally manage it all. Last thing I'll give you is a little piece of mindset tool with that too. You're kind of stuck in the overwhelm of it all. You're worried about the how, and the how is none of your business. You need to know what you want and why you want it. The what and the why. The how will present itself. So the how allows things, the universe, to bring you things and drop them into your lap, literally, the connections, the resources, the windows of opportunity show up for you. And so focus on that what and why. Okay? All right, I hope that helped. All right, next question. This is from Suzanne in California. I'm so tired of COVID with an exclamation point. I'm cranky, moody. I cry a lot. Oh man, I can feel you. Ooh, I totally felt you, Suzanne. How can you help me feel better? I don't feel like myself anymore. Wow. This is huge, huge. I was on co-hosting with Coach Ron Tunick and Scott Harries on The Edge Radio, on K-Hits Radio, out in Santa Clarita in the LA area. And we were talking about COVID fatigue. And it's a real thing. And so you're tired of COVID on so many levels, as are so many other people. We're tired of it. We want things, we want certainty. We want things to return back to normal. And there's several layers of being tired, several layers of exhaustion, several layers of lack of motivation, and feeling uninspired. So many things are happening. I don't know if I talked about this on last week's episode, but if I did, it bears repeating. So we're living in a time where things are very, very different. Our normal routines have been completely disrupted, and it's been going on for a long time already, with no sign of it ending anytime soon. So that's disruptive. That causes depression. There's isolation that's going on. Your routines are messed up. Like I said, we've got a show on work-life balance. There's a blending of things together. There's no sort of definition or clear demarcation of when, it's work time or a lifetime. Just everything is blended. You're not as physically active as you normally would be, or most of us aren't because of the situation. You're not doing the things that you normally would do. When we tend to stay in for long periods of time, that causes depression and isolation. You're probably sitting a lot longer. You're probably watching more TV than maybe you normally do. It's demotivating. Of course you're cranky. Of course you're moody. Of course you're crying a lot. There's a lot of emotions that are coming out of you right now. And we're experiencing things. We could be feeling fine one day, and then all of a sudden something happens. We see something on the news, or we see something on social media, or we get a text from somebody, or we have a fight with somebody, or something happens that sets us off. And I know for me, I'm going through it too, that stuff kind of knocks us down. And so then it's really hard to feel like yourself right now, Suzanne. So you're not crazy. You're not alone. And I understand that you're tired of it. So here's what I'm going to recommend that you do. You've got to be able, and I know this is asking a lot. You have got to be able to look for the gratitude and the gifts in your life. You have to tip the scale the other way, because it's tipped this way because of of everything that's going on, but you got to tip the scale the other way. You've got to be able to find things that you are grateful for. I did an exercise last night, and and do it most nights, writing down all the things that I was grateful for before I went to bed, because I was tired. I had a long day and was in the middle of doing a lot of things, and I needed to shift the energy. It's what you have to do. And I started going through the day of all the things that I was grateful for. And oh my goodness, there were so many things that popped up. I took a 5-mile walk along the beach. It rained in San Diego. We haven't had rain in months and months and months. I got to, talk to my daughter for an hour. I connected with somebody that I hadn't talked to in a long time. I did this research and I found this key connection that I need to get. The list just kept coming and coming and coming because I shifted the energy over to gratitude. So you got to do that. You cannot change your state and can't solve the problem from the same state that you're in. Thank you, Einstein, for that. You can't solve a problem from the same state it was created in. And thank you, Tony Robbins. In order to have these shifts, we have to change our state. We have to change that blueprint. So please don't say these words anymore. Don't say I'm so tired of COVID. Don't say I'm cranky. Don't say I'm moody. Shift it. And I'm not asking you to take a, catastrophic leap of one to the other. Just do anything and everything you can to stay focused on the gifts and the gratitude, that you're healthy and well, that in this moment, you actually have every single thing that you need. You do. And that, run through the list of, I don't know if you're in a relationship, but even if you're not, if you're married or single, whatever it is, that you're alive, that you have people in your life that you love and you are loved, that there's so many things to be grateful for. Do the list, the big things and the small things. And I know this was way longer than a minute, but I really wanted to give this to you, and I wanted to give this to anybody else out there who's feeling this way right now, because I know that if one person had this question, probably millions of you do. So thank you so much for your question, Suzanne, for your honesty, for your vulnerability, for sharing that and speaking up. It's so important and it's so brave. And I want to say to both of you, please send me, who's our first question? It was Suzanne and Andrea, send us a private message on my Facebook page, and I have Today with Diane Forster. Send me a private message with your shipping address, and we're going to ship you out an I Have Today mug. Thank you so much. All right, if you want to get coached live here on the air with me, then please, you can send in your questions at dianeforster.com/mentor me. And you can ask me anything, does not matter what it is, and enter for your chance to get your questions answered right here live on the show. All right. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Well, we're getting ready to get into the mantra meditation. But before we do that, I want to just kind of recap what we talked about today. The theme of the show was stop trying to be perfect. Please stop trying to be perfect. It's an illusion and it doesn't exist. And there's so much expansion that happens with you every single day. And so let yourself off the hook of that. Give yourself a break. And remember that we're always evolving. You are different today than you were yesterday. And the biggest takeaway of all is you are already perfect. You're perfect just as you are. And I want to thank Rachel Carew for being here. She's the CEO of Stepping Into More. That's the name of her book. She's got her CD, Stepping Into More. And we gave you the link for her resilience assessment. So you can find all of that on her website, which we're going to have in the comments and the description area for you. So check that out and see where you measure up on the resilience scale. All right. Because those two things definitely have something to do with each other, perfectionism and resilience. And that the gifts and the growth really are in the difficult times where we build that resilience muscle. It makes us stronger and it makes us wiser. All right. And then I shared with you some other episodes that you might want to check out. Again, 3 keys to work-life balance, manifest more confidence and success, and stop overwhelm. And you can find those on my YouTube channel at I Have Today with Diane Forster or at E360 TV on my channel. I Have Today with Diane Forster. Okay, now what I want to offer to you is my gift. And this mantra meditation is about taking everything that we've learned so far in the show, everything that we've experiencing, and tying it all together so that you leave the show feeling better on all levels at the end of it than you did at the beginning. And another powerful tool is my 8 affirmations. And you can find those at 8affirmations.com. It's the number 8 and the word affirmations. Now, these 8 affirmations are extremely powerful. There's one very intentional affirmation for each of the 8 key areas in your life. All right. And those will help you in health, in love, in family, in money, in career, in community, in spirituality, and in fun. So download your copy right away and read those every single day. All right. Whether you read them in the morning or at night, at both times, those are my gift to you. So 8affirmations.com. All right. Let's get ready and do the mantra meditation. I've only got a couple of minutes, so it's going to be a quick one. We're going to do 2 deep breaths. We're going to breathe in for the count of 4. We're going to hold it for 4. And we're going to breathe out for 8 seconds like you're blowing out birthday candles. Keep your eyes closed. We will do that twice, and then just listen to the words. Here we go. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 4. And breathe out for 8. Do it again one more time. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 4. And breathe out for 8. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to end the pursuit of perfection. That's the person I used to be. I am no longer focused on that. I now understand that perfectionism doesn't even exist. It is an illusion. And it's a place inside of me where I feel self-doubt, self-conscious, worried about what others might think of me. And I have a clear understanding that the only opinion about me that matters is my own. I let go of the self-doubt. I let go of the fear. I let go of the worry. I let go of the attachment to the outside opinions of anybody else. I understand I am already perfect. I'm perfect just because I'm here. I came here to be, to do, to have, and experience the beauty and the wonder that this life has to offer. I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow. I'm here to expand. I'm here to love. I'm here to laugh. And I'm here to try and do and try and do. I understand. No mistakes, only lessons along the way. I understand that that's the way I learn, grow, and expand. That expands my resilience. I love that feeling. I love the ability to continue to learn new things every day, to release the attachment of perfectionism, and to live and be in my greatest joy, my creative expression, and in ever expanding love. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it for this week's episode of I Have Today. I want to thank you for being here. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Diane Forster Official. Get your 8 affirmations at 8affirmations.com and read them every day. And stay tuned to us every Monday at 11:03 a.m. Pacific time on E360 TV, on YouTube at I Have Today with Diane Forster, and on Facebook, I Have Today with Diane Forster. That's it. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.